TEMU is making me uncomfortable. On Friday, I saw my colleague unboxing a number of packages. I asked her where they were from. So she could, even answer. I guessed TEMU. Is it TEMU or TEMU? Let me see.
TEMU.
TEMU.
Ah, okay. And my guess was correct. In simple capitalist fashion, TEMU has been chasing me relentlessly.
Then what is the advert finish?
Talk, threads, even the free-to-play games on my phone were not spared.
I wanted to kill me with ass.
I've been on TikTok recently. I'm sure you have seen them. We're looking at my colleague's haul. I'll admit, I was very intrigued. I was pretty oh my god, nice things, affordable things. I was imagining how my life would change if I owned all those fine and shiny things on TEMU. If I could own those things on TEMU's website, who was I going to become? During the day, I got busy and forgot the consumerist base that dwells within until yesterday. While I was scrolling mindlessly on TikTok, as one does these days, TEMU just slides itself through my phone screen and grabs me by the ear and whispers me sweet nothings. The promise, 350,000 naira. 350,000 Tinubu naira. And all I had to do was to follow this link. So I followed the link. I arrived at the link and was given a wheel to spin. I spun once and that one landed on one more chance. So I spun again and this time I landed on the grand prize of 350,000 naira. But of course, to claim this money, I needed to download the app. So I downloaded the app, registered and attempted to collect my reward. But TEMU says, no, wait, where did you think this was? Freetown? Before TEMU could give me this huge sum of money, I had to buy 2 items and I had to buy it immediately. In fact, there was a timer by the top. TEMU was telling me, you have 2 minutes to buy the thing from us or we're not going to give you all this free money. I considered how far I've come in the process, my data, my hope, my time I could have been using to familiarize myself with I thought about how much of that time that I'd invested in this thing and decided not to quit, because quitters don't win and winners don't quit. Long story short, I hustled to give TEMU my money. I hustled really hard. You all know the situation with Nigerian debit cards when it comes to online purchases. I started the process around 1 p.m. and was able to complete the transaction by around 9 p.m. Remember that in the beginning there was a 2-minute timer, but apparently that did not really matter. By 9 p.m. after making my first purchase, which came to 10,280 naira, TEMU revealed the final betrayal. TEMU was not going to give me 350k. What TEMU will give me are coupons.
Bruh.
Coupons that are only redeemable by spending more money. So basically, spend a minimum of 30k and get 10k worth of items for free. And spend a maximum of 300k and get 100k worth of items for free.
Man already free, even man a free town.
TEMU was not trying to give me 300k. They were trying to take my own 300k that I don't have, 300k that for a moment I was willing to spend. So, January this year, in a bid to better my life and further prove myself to society, I decided to get a master's degree. Not long after I thought of this, an ad appeared before me on Facebook. This ad was for a UNICAF online scholarship. It promised that I could study anywhere in the world for little to no cost at all. I wondered, why me? Who am I to be this lucky? Is this a sign? Am I going to finally prove my elders wrong and be rewarded for being perpetually online? Anyway, I clicked on the link, filled out a form with precious personal information, and I was assigned an advisor named Godwin, who spoke via email, WhatsApp, and on phone. He was based in Lagos while I was in Abuja, and his job is supposedly to walk me through the scholarship application process. We were in correspondence for 2 weeks, and this time I made inquiries into the operations of UNICAF. 2 of my senior colleagues had gotten degrees from there, and 1 other colleague was undergoing a program with them at the time. A friend I asked also said he had heard good things about them, so I just thought it wise to proceed with the whole thing. Meanwhile, during this time, Godwin had been asking, and I'm careful to not use the word pressure loosely, but Godwin was asking me to pay the application fee, which was £35, which when converted came to 44,520 naira. He was asking me to make this payment because according to him, the exchange rate could go up anytime, which is probably true. It was the middle of January and there was like no money anywhere, so I could not make that payment then. I just told you, I just kept telling him, you have to wait, you're going to have to wait until the 30th. My salary of 150,000 landed in my account and off I went to the bank, all along in contact with Godwin and taking guidance and direction from him. I made that payment, sent him the invoice, and he begins my application process. Along the line, he asked me, when can you make the first deposit of your school fees so that I can draft out a payment plan for you? Mind you, I'd asked him earlier about the fees and he had told me the fees depend on whatever the school is charging, and whatever the school is charging, UNICAF is going to pay 80% and I will pay 20%. So as he mentions the fee thing, I tell him, oh yeah, remember, you never really told me what the fees were. And he immediately tries to claim that he had told me that before, and I say, no, you never told me that, you didn't tell me. And then he goes ahead to tell me that the fee is £3,500. It's basically 4.5 million naira. A scholarship was going to cost me 4.5 million naira, and this my advisor for some reason had been in contact with me for 2 weeks and conveniently forgot to make this clear. It struck me then how we had practically discussed everything. He knew almost everything about me, and we had been talking, and this man is always coherent, never forgetting anything. If something needs to be 500 words, he will make sure it's 500. So on the nose about things and protocol, but then forgot to tell me this is what the price is. So when he told me, I thought I told you, I was taken aback. I'm like, no, you're not the type to forget things or make mistakes. I just could not believe that this was an honest mistake. These people are aware that people will not be interested if they are told the full cost of the scholarship, because the cost of this one scholarship can fund 4 masters in Nigeria. 4 masters in Nigeria. These people knew what they were doing, because my colleague at the time that was doing that program had paid about up to 350,000 naira to UNICAF up to that point. And when she saw my own issue and made her own calculations, she found out that she was still owing UNICAF over 5 million naira. I asked for a refund, sent a bunch of emails, called their offices in Lagos and Cyprus, cried, pleaded, regretted, but my money never came back. A month before this, it was December, the spirit of Christmas was upon me, and as I aimlessly walked the streets of Facebook, I kept getting these ads for footwears and handbags and really beautiful items that could be worn for Christmas, and these items had thousands of likes and a lot of positive comments. The items advertised were also very cheap, so I followed the links on 3 of those ads, spoke to the vendors on WhatsApp, and ended up purchasing from 2 of them. One was for handbags and one was for couple footwears. They insisted on being paid before delivery, and they also took delivery fees from me. I waited and waited, but no shoes, no handbags came to me. I cried, I complained, I regretted, but my money never came back. I checked the page mentions and I found I was just one out of many. I reported the pages to Facebook as scams, but Facebook said they had not gone against any community guidelines. Back to TEMU. This morning I woke up and opened my TEMU app and they gave me 2 free gifts. Basically said I could pick 2 things that I wanted and it would be free. I picked 2 things, and as I proceeded to check out, TEMU said, wait, you have to buy things first, and those things must be worth at least 65k. Over the past couple of days, I have seen nearly
time, and I got a
1,000
wig.
TEMU hauls and reviews. And I admit that online shopping is a necessary step in evolution and something I'm grateful for. But in the midst of capitalism and consumerism, we are forgetting to hold corporations accountable in any form or manner. We give them our patronage and we still remain at their mercy. The views of their consumers as nothing but nuts to press is very, very concerning to me, honestly. They do not only disregard the fragile mental health of some of their consumers, like people with shopping addiction or illiterate, or whether you even understand the nuances of these agreements they push in front of you. Sometimes they take advantage of these things and try to entrap you, and in some cases will lead you into trouble, all the while blameless and innocent or dinkemere. Like these people, they can barely do anything wrong, and we are giving all the responsibility, all of it, all the responsibility, all the blame, all the shame, all on us. Especially in this day and age of what I ordered versus what I got, where it's basically now more like a trend. A lot of scams have flown under the radar of miscommunication or misinformation or labeling, but all these are just flimsy. Most of them are flimsy excuses. Because the truth is that in this day and age, if these corporations are not actively trying to steal or entrap, if they make the slightest bit of effort, things will not be the same. Things will not be like that. I mean, if I tell Facebook someone is using their platform to initiate fraudulent actions, is it unreasonable to expect them to care? And perhaps, maybe do something about it? Anything? In this day and age, you're telling me there is absolutely nothing you can do to make sure that these scammers do not pay you money to advertise for them, to sponsor their nonsense posts? So, as you add to cart, remember that nothing on that website will cure your life. And unless you are into retail, you will gain nothing from spending 40k to get 10k worth of items. Whatever is worth that 10k that you need so badly that you spend 40k to get, you can as well just pay for the extra if it is so necessary. An online scholarship that will cost you millions of naira is no scholarship at all, and that online vendor being rude and brusque with you while demanding you pay them before delivery and at the same time withholding information from you is probably a scammer. Please stay away from them. This has happened to quite a number of friends that I know. These platforms do not make the active effort to protect you, so please protect yourself. Anyway, thank you for taking out your time to listen to me today. My name is Mediatrix, and this here is the Trixiverse, where I make passionate video essays about things that interest, amuse, or annoy me. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you will not miss my next week upload, where I dissect the manosphere and its unsurprising downfall. With that, I will say hope you enjoy your holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. See you. Do you like my hair? My mom does not like it. My mom looked at my hair. My mom said the reason I did not come home for Christmas was because my hair is ugly. Can you imagine? She said that to me. Oh my god, it was so funny. But like, why would she say something like that? That was not the reason. The reason was because I did not have money. So it was like insult upon injury. Terrible. Yeah, by the way, I spent Christmas alone for the first time in my life. So I was home alone for Christmas. I made a whole video about that, but I chickened out of posting it because I am a chicken. Quack, quack, quack.